Hello everyone, namaskar. So today's topics are very interesting. These topics are not mentioned in NCERT, but if you solve question bank, you will come across these topics. Okay, so let us go one by one. You can see on the screen crisscross inheritance, epistasis, then what else? Arrangement of linked genes, formula to find out map unit, Drosophila genic balance theory, bar body. These are the concepts which we are going to learn now. Okay, so let us start with crisscross inheritance. So what is this crisscross inheritance? Crisscross inheritance. Just break the terms, you will get it. Okay. For example, you see this relation over here. Let's say there is a disease which is coming to this son. This son is receiving this disease. From whom can you see? Is it the father giving the disease? No. The son is getting the disease from the mother. The son is getting the disease from mother, right? So when mother has the tendency to give the disease to son, or when father has tendency to give the disease to daughter, what is happening? They are not transmitting the disease to the same gender. Mother to son, father to daughter, right? So grandfather to daughter, right? And then that mother transmitting the disease to son. Cool. One example you want to see? For example, let's see. There is a disease which is sex-linked recessive. So whenever there is a disease which is sex-linked recessive, it always happens in which condition? Homozygous recessive condition. Then only the disease happens, right? Let's say mother has this condition. Mother has this condition. Will the mother be having the disease? No, right? Because it should be what? Both homozygous. What I have done here, one is small and one is capital. It means mother is a carrier. She is not going to have the disease, but there are chances that she can give disease to son. If the son has this genotype, son can get the disease or not? Because son has only one X chromosome, right? So when these type of inheritance is happening, mother transmitting the disease to son, father transmitting the disease to daughter. This type of disease is crisscross inheritance. And in most of the cases, in which one you will get this disease? If the disease is sex-linked, right? Check it out, this question. From question bank, I have taken it. You can see this, right? And here you are seeing the mother is transmitting the disease to son and the father is transmitting the disease to daughter. Yes? So find out which one here can follow this. You know that sickle cell anemia, thalassemia, phenylketonuria, all are autosomal recessive. All are autosomal recessive. You can't determine the gender. You can't specify the gender, right? Which one is going to have the disease. But when it comes to hemophilia, it is sex-linked recessive disease. When it comes to hemophilia, you know, from the mother, chances are more that the son will have the disease, right? So hemophilia, which is sex-linked recessive disorder, will be the answer for this, right? Now, next topic is epistasis. The meaning of epistasis, you can also say sitting over, like one over the other, sitting over. So what happens if someone is sitting over someone? What will happen? The person who is down, that person will not be seen. The only person who is sitting over that person, you will be able to see that person, right? Similarly, in case of epistasis, what happens? First of all, you should know It is intergenic type of interaction. Which type of interaction? It is intergenic type of interaction. What do you mean by intergenic? Between two genes, between two different genes. We have been learning about codominance, right? Incomplete dominance. They were intragenic. In the same gene, the alleles were interacting. But this is example of intergenic interaction. What do you mean by this? You need to have different gene. You need to have different gene. These are two different genes, right? They will interact and they will give you some result. Okay, that is the meaning of intergenic interaction. Two different genes are going to interact. So what is going to happen here? Genes present at two different locus in which one gene suppresses or masks the expression of other gene. It is similar to, law of dominance. In law of dominance, what was happening? Do you remember? It was happening in one gene. For example, if I have capital T, small t, it is happening in one gene that capital T will not allow the small t to get expressed. Capital T is dominant over small t. So here what is happening? Happening in the one gene. Happening between the allele of one gene. But if the same thing happens in between two different genes, then that is epistasis. Okay? That one gene, let's say I'm taking capital T, small t, capital R, capital R. One gene will suppress other one. That gene will get expressed and this will not get expressed. So this is sitting over this gene. This is your epistasis. When one gene masks the activity of the other gene. Okay? So the gene that masks the effect of other gene, the gene which is masking the effect of other gene, that is called as epistatic gene. Epistatic gene. And the gene which is not able to get expressed. For example, in this case, let's say this is getting expressed. Capital T, capital T. I will say this is epistatic gene. This is not able to express. This is getting expressed. This is not getting expressed. So the one which is not getting expressed, that is hypostatic gene. Hypostatic gene. Got it? This concept? Epistasis is between two genes. Similar to law of dominance. Okay? One gene will get expressed and the other gene, it will not allow it to express. Cool? So there are two types of epistasis. Dominant epistasis and recessive epistasis. Very simple. Dominant, in case of dominant, what happens? The dominant gene will sit over the recessive gene. Out of two pairs of allele, let's say these are the two pairs of alleles, the dominant allele of one gene will mask the activity of other allele pair. So when dominant gene is masking the other gene, then it is dominant epistasis. But in epistasis, there is one more case, that even the recessive gene can mask the other gene, other dominant gene. This is dominant, right? And this is recessive. When the recessive gene is dominating over the dominant gene, that is recessive epistasis. Recessive epistatic gene masks the activity of dominant gene at the other locus. Means they are located at different place, obviously. Two gene. Means they will be located at two different locus on the chromosome. Got it? So dominant gene suppressing the recessive gene, that is dominant epistasis. Recessive gene suppressing the dominant gene, that is recessive epistasis. Now, what comes in the exam is, they ask you example and they ask you the ratio. So the example for this one, dominant epistasis, it has been observed in the fruit color of summer squash. Fruit color of summer squash. What is the phenotypic ratio they observed? The phenotypic ratio was 12:3:1. What about recessive epistasis? Was it observed? Yes. It was observed in the onion bulb. Pigmentation in the onion bulb, the color. And the phenotypic ratio was 9:3:4. The question which comes is this only. The definition will come, the example may come, and the ratio. That is it. Okay? Now, can you see this question? Previous year question. The phenomenon in which an allele of one gene suppresses the activity of an allele of another gene. So, we are talking about two genes, right? One allele of one gene is suppressing the other allele of another gene. What is it, my dear children? It is epistasis. Got it? Okay, let's go for the next topic, right? And that is, okay, you can also solve this question, then we will move on to the next topic. Recessive epistasis, F2 phenotypic ratio. Can you find it out? Recessive epistasis, F2 phenotypic ratio. Just now I told you, right? Just now I told you. Can you go back and see? See. Recessive epistasis, example and ratio. Can you see the recessive epistasis ratio? 9:3:4. Got it? 9:3:4. Now we are going to talk about arrangement of linked gene. The next topic would be what? Arrangement of linked gene. You know the concept of linkage, right? Now we are going to see the arrangement of linked gene. Can they have some arrangement? Yes. Can you see these two arrangements? This arrangement. Can you see both side capital allele are there? Both side small alleles are there? On the chromosome, same chromosome, you are getting both capital allele, dominant allele. And here on the same chromosome, you are getting both small alleles, right? And in this case, what is happening? See, one is capital, one is small, one is small, one is capital. Got it? So these kind of arrangement, there are two types of arrangement. This arrangement is cis arrangement. When you get the same type of letter on the chromosome, capital, capital, and small, small. This is trans type of arrangement, right? When you have capital and small, okay? They are not same, okay? So that is arrangement of linked gene, cis and trans. Going forward, we are going to learn about map unit. I hope you know about map unit. I have taught you right before. So map unit tells you what? One map unit is equal to how much percentage of crossing over or how much percentage of recombination? Remember? How much percentage? 1% of recombination or crossing over. Is that right? It shows you how much percentage of crossing over? 1% of crossing over. Right? Now, if someone has given you a question and the person is asking you, find out the map unit. The question is like this. For example, someone is asking you that parental type offspring is 400 and recombinant type offspring is let's say 200. Okay? Now someone is asking you to find out the map unit. So what is actually map unit? You need to find out the percentage of recombinant, right? Percentage of recombinant. For 1%, you are saying 1 map unit. If it is 30%, you will say 30 map unit, right? So what we need to find out? We need to find out the percentage of recombinant. How do you find out the percentage? You need to find out recombinant. So you will put it in numerator, and in the denominator you will put what? Total number of offspring. So in total number of offspring, how many you are getting recombinants? That should be in the numerator because you need to find that out. And you need to find the percentage. So you will multiply it by 100. So what is the formula to find out the map unit? Number of recombinant upon total number of progeny into 100. For example, for this question, what you can do? Number of recombinant is 200. ठीक है, 200. Number of total progeny will be what? 200 plus 400 into 100. So 200 upon 600 into 100. So 0, 0 cancel. 2, 3 is 6. 1 upon 3 into 100. 1 upon 3 will give you what? I think 0.33. 0.33 into 100 means how much percent is? 33%. So what is the map unit? 33 map unit. One more thing you need to keep in mind. If it is showing you linkage, the recombination value should always be less than 50, right? You know this, no? If it is showing linkage, the recombination value should always be less than 50. Then only you can say it is showing linkage, right? Yes, so this map unit value should always be less than 50. The recombination value should always be less than 50. Then only you can say, yeah, they are showing linkage, right? Otherwise, they are not showing linkage. Got it? Yes? So that is that, number of recombinants and how to combine this concept with the map unit. Got it? Now the next topic is Drosophila genic balance theory of sex determination. Okay? In Drosophila, we are going to see how to determine the sex. It's there in NCERT a bit, right? They have said that it is like human beings, right? They also have XY type. If XY is there, it is male, and if XX is there, it is female. But number of chromosome, that is not seen. What is the number of chromosome in Drosophila? How many pairs of chromosomes do they have? What is the answer? How many pairs of chromosome do they have? 4 pairs, right? Out of these 4 pairs, what are autosome? How many pairs? 3 pairs. So what will be allosome? 1 pair. Then only you will get total 8, right? 4 pairs, which is 8. Got it? So you know what is this theory all about? This says that the ratio of X chromosome upon autosome, the number of X chromosome upon number of autosome, tell us the gender of the Drosophila, that it is going to be male or it is going to be female. That is the theory, that the ratio of number of X chromosome upon number of autosome gives us the gender of the Drosophila. ठीक है? X upon A ratio, where X will give you what? Female character, and they had considered that A will give male character. That was their concept. ठीक है? That X upon A ratio X tell us the female and A tell us the male behavior. That was their concept to determine the sex of the Drosophila. Okay? Yes. So now we are going to see the ratio. If X upon A ratio is 0.5, means what is the case? 50% X is there and 50% what is there? 50% autosome is there. If it is 0.5, they said that it will be male. है ना? It will be male. When it was 1, it means it is female. You know what is the best way to remember it? You know that Drosophila follows what? XY type, है ना? This is just to remember so that you don't get confused. Let's say I am saying 0.5 is X. 0.5 is X. You know that XY gives you male. So to get the male, 50% should be X and the other 50% should be Y. So if I am saying 0.5, if I am saying 0.5 is X, matlab 0.5 is Y. X and Y are equal. That means it will be a male. If I am saying 100% it is X, 100% it is X means can I say the condition is XX? Condition is XX. So if condition is XX, it will be completely female. Right? They just did what? They compared this A as Y. Okay? Now let's say the percentage is less than 0.5. Again, you need to compare it with what? X chromosome. It is less than 0.5. X is less than 0.5 means Y is more. X is less than 0.5 means Y is more. So you know what we will say? It is meta male. More male character. More male character. If the value is between 0.5 to 1, you can't decide. है ना? What is it? Intersex. If the value is more than 1, 1.5, can you see this? 1.5 means what? X, 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 I can say. More number of X is there. When it was 1, 2X I considered. है ना? When it is 1.5 means number of X is increasing. The more the number of X, more female character they will get. So it is meta-female. Meta-female. So this is Drosophila genic theory for the sex determination. ठीक है? They never use the term Y chromosome. They always compared it with A. ठीक है? Ratio of X upon A tell us the gender. ठीक है? So if it is 50-50 male, if it is 100% X, 1, then female. Okay? Other than that, you can compare. Yes? So that's Drosophila. There is a question on this. Can you solve it now? In Drosophila, the sex is determined by. Sex is determined by. What is it? The ratio of the pairs of X chromosome to the pairs of autosomes. ठीक है? There is this option A. See this? Ratio of number of X chromosome to the sets of autosome. Not like this. It is what? The ratio of pairs of X chromosome. How many pair of X chromosome to the pairs of autosome. ठीक है? Always to remember to have better idea. Compare that as XY thing. If I am saying 0.5 as the ratio, so 0.5 is X and the other 0.5 is Y. Means 50-50. That is why it is male. Yes, if I say 1, means completely it is only X. So XX, that is why I am saying it is female. Just to remember. So what will be the most appropriate answer? Ratio of pair of X chromosome to the pair of autosome. ठीक है? Now moving forward, this is very easy topic. Barr body. Concept of Barr body. So Barr body concept is what? It says that whatever number of X chromosome a person has, whatever number of X chromosome number a person has, you just subtract it from what? 1. You will get bare body. Bare body means the chromosome which are inactive, the X chromosome which are inactive. So it is said that there is only one X chromosome in a person which is active. So for example, if I say human female, I am asking you what is the number of bare body in human female? How many chromosome number do you get in human female? How many X chromosome? 2. What I told you, what is bare body? Total number of X chromosome minus 1. So how many X chromosome? 2 minus 1. So what is the number of bare body in human female? 1. Okay, so it is said that only one X chromosome is active and the other is inactive. That is the concept of bare body. That is how we calculate the number of bare body. So there is a question in front of you. Solve it. Number of bare body in this female. What will be the number of bare body? Find out the total number of X chromosome. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 minus 1, 3. So what will be the bare body number? The bare body number will be 3. I hope you got it, right? I hope you got all the concepts properly. Okay, so this will help you a lot in solving the previous year question bank. Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye.